My Line. Brought to you by new Polydent tablets, the powerful new denture cleanser tablets to keep your breath fresh, keep your smile bright and natural. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, our matinee star, who appears on Wednesday and Saturday afternoons in the Broadway hit The Apple Tree, Miss Phyllis Newman.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight it's my pleasure to introduce the very talented and charming host of Password, which can be seen daily on CBS and also Sunday at 5 o'clock in color, Mr. Alan Ludden.
You know, at Bonwit Teller, there are two ladies with keys to the executive washroom. The president and that glamorous member of the board of directors, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who, despite the fact that he has a brilliant son at Harvard, is going to speak this week at Princeton, perhaps to put a tiger in his tank. Mr. Bennett, sir.
Well, I think you're going to see new John Daly tonight, because the famous movie producer, Arthur Hornblower, and I got a hold of him the other night and said, John, if you want to continue being the head of What's My Line, you've got to talk up once in a while. Just don't sit there and never say anything. Speak. Even if you mispronounce the words, don't understand them, at least let them hear those mellifluent tones of yours. So he's promised tonight he's going to talk a little bit. And let's see if he keeps the promise. Here he is, John Charles Daly.
Arlene, he's not at Princeton yet, but the tiger's in the tank already, as far as I'm concerned. May I say, Miss Phyllis, nice to have you back with us.
Thank you.
And Alan, nice to see you there. I think we've got some very interesting guests for you tonight. I think they got me a new chair. I feel like I'm sitting in a topless manhole here, but everything else is otherwise fine, because I think we're going to puzzle you a good deal in the next half hour. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before this wonderful panel a little bit later in the program. But right now, let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? All right, panel, I will parenthetically add here that we've ask our contestant to sign in Miss X because we feel it's possible one or more of you might perhaps learn something from their true name. However, I would ask you where you're from.
Well, my hometown is West Palm Beach, Florida.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yes.
Lucky West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, Miss X, may I present the panel?
Yes.
And will you join me over here, ma'am, and we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Miss X is salaried and deals in a service, and we'll begin things with Bennett, sir.
Miss X, I presume that's a new miniskirt you've got on, is it not?
Yes?
He's catching up. You know, you give Bennett 2 or 3 years and...
I'm catching right up. Well, on you, it looks great.
Thank you.
Miss X, does your work have anything whatever to do with entertainment or tourism?
Yes?
Do you perform this work in Florida?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Newman.
Now, Miss X, I mean this in the best sense. You have this great short skirt and terrific legs and everything. Are you used to showing something I mean that in the best sense. Showing something to people. In other words, well, I'm going to kill myself. I mean, do you do something that, do you wear a costume other than a dress when you do what you do?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Ludden.
You do perform in some manner, though, in your service.
Yes.
Is what you do anything, would it be athletic of some sort?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
The service that you do you work for someone that might be well known when you do your job?
An individual who might be well known?
Yes.
Aha.
No.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss X, is there any kind of music ever involved in the work that you do?
Yes.
Is some of the skirt you're wearing goes with some of these new dances? Would possibly those dances be somewhat involved in the work you do?
No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Newman.
Now, would I pay admission to come to see you do what you do?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Ludden. How y'all doing?
You mean I could watch you do what you do for nothing?
You know, actually, if you had sufficient interest and wanted to go and see what it was that Miss X did, you could go and see, and it wouldn't cost you a penny.
Oh, I do, John, I do. Now, to do this, to perform this, required a special training, no doubt.
Yes.
Did you start training for this when you were a very young girl?
No.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Now, do I understand that what you do has to do with music?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it music other than rock and roll or jazz?
Sometimes.
Do you have anything to do with conducting?
No.
That's 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf with the tiger in his tank.
Miss X, we've established that you have something to do with music, and you also have something to do with tourism.
No, that has not been established.
Or, what did I ask first?
No, you asked the question if you have something to do with entertainment or
yes.
tourism, and we admitted to...
Would the music that you deal with possibly be on records ever?
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with recording or the making of records? Aren't you connect with the record business in some way?
No.
No?
That's 9 down and 1 to go, Miss Newman.
But you do have something to do with records themselves.
Yes.
Do you play records? Are you a person who plays records in, like, discotheque or something? I don't know what you call it, a discotheque lady.
No discotheques, 10 down and no more to go. But you were very close. I think Bennett opened the door for you. Actually, Chris Noel is a disc jockey for the U.S. Armed Forces overseas.
Chris Noel. And that's why she had to say Miss X. Of course, I know Chris Noel.
Well, we all do. You've just
Yes.
been in Vietnam, haven't you?
Yes.
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 What do you mean you know? You didn't even recognize.
Well,
Let me get the record straight. Chris works for Armed Forces Radio and does a daily 1-hour program which is carried around the globe except in South America and South Africa, right?
Yes, and the communistic countries, except for those that they can't block out.
Excuse me, Miss Noel, what do they want to hear most, the boys? What kind of music?
Well, rock and roll and country, both.
Yeah, and do you tell them about their families and such? Do they write in and do all that?
No, what I do is, on my show, I play the music, and then I will mention letters that I receive from the fellas and dedicate songs to them and the units.
Well, the nice thing about this, if I may take the floor for a moment, is that Chris made a 2-week trip to Vietnam, as Arlene noted, over the Christmas, New Year holiday period. And while we knew of her, one reason she's with us tonight is that I got a letter from Hugh Mulligan from the Associated Press, who's one of the 5 men with Pat Moran and Saul Pett, special correspondents of AP. And I put down a couple of lines from Hugh's letter, which he wrote to me. He said, "This is the hardest working gal I ever saw out here. She's been just about everywhere, out with the line companies, helicoptering all over the place, signing endless photos for the guys, dancing with them, attending their parties, etc. I have yet to see a gal who can walk into a crowded mess hall and put the troops at ease so quickly. Chris, that's a wonderful... I would say, I think probably Bennett knows Hugh Mulligan. Do you know Hugh?
Yes,
Bennett?
I do.
And this kind of compliment doesn't come from the Mulligan very easily. He's a tough Irishman, and when he says it, he means it. Now, Chris also, whilst he's working with the armed forces, is developing a career as an actress. She works in the theater and on TV, and we hope you have the biggest success that every gal in America ever had.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have you. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word.
Today.
And now to meet our next contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Ted Schmidt, right, sir? I told Mr. Schmidt he looked fine, and he said I got all done up. That's the way men feel about that stuff they put on you, right?
Well, they really do.
Where are you from, Mr.
Chicago,
Schmidt?
Illinois.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank
May
you.
I present the panel, sir?
How do you do?
So now will you join me over here, Mr. Schmidt? I got my little old seat fixed here, and we'll sit down together. And we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Schmidt is salaried and deals in a product. And we'll begin things with Phyllis Newman.
Thank you. Mr. Schmidt, is this a product I could use?
Yes, ma'am.
People are laughing. If I carried this product on my lap on the subway, I don't have to finish the question.
That's right. That's one down and 9 to go, Mr. Ludden.
Well, if she carried it in her lap in the subway,
Obviously, people would laugh.
is it a product that she could use? Is it a product that I could use?
Yes, sir.
Is it a product that one could buy in a department store?
No, sir.
That's 2 down and 8 to go. Miss Francis.
Is it a large product, bigger than the bread box that we
Yes,
always
ma'am.
talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a product that is now or has ever been alive?
No, ma'am.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Schmidt, Chicago recently suffered the worst blizzard in its history.
We sure did.
Is your product in any way involved or helpful to the amelioration of traffic conditions in Chicago?
No, sir.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Newman.
This is a large product. Is it something I could sit on, lie on?
More conference.
I don't know if it's good or bad.
Sometimes.
I could sometimes sit or lie on
It
it.
would depend pretty much on how you felt about it, yes.
But then I can assume that its normal state of being is not for my body to be on it, right?
That's correct.
All right. Then is it something with moving parts?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it something then that moves?
Itself?
If I pushed it, would it move?
No, it would not. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Ludden.
Is this a product that I could get into?
No, sir. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it a product that is found outside of a house?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it in any way attractive to look upon?
Yes, ma'am.
Would, if one had a country estate, might it be outdoors at that estate?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it decorative in some sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Swell.
Don't have a clue, right?
Don't have a clue, that's right.
Yes.
Are any of its parts made of wood?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
One doesn't get onto it, one doesn't get into it.
That's right.
One should, if they have any sense, keep away from it. No.
No, actually, what
No.
we said was that in this area, whether you could sit on it, lie on it, and so
Yeah.
forth, that there is an occasion when, if you so chose, why,
You
we
could.
would agree you could.
All right.
Yes.
Is this anything that grows out of the ground?
No, ma'am.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Schmidt, is there any metal or iron, let's say, in this product?
Yes, sir.
You say it's a decorative product?
We feel it has a decorative aspect, yes.
Can I eliminate such things as iron jockeys or iron deer or these gewgaws that they used to have on the lawns in Victorian days? I can eliminate that.
Yes, sir.
In other words, this is a modern product.
Yes, sir.
To a degree, this
Is-
particular product we're talking about, we would have to admit, was very modern, which is not to suggest that the overall product has not been in general use for a long time.
Would this product possibly come into the realm of statuary or architecture?
No, sir.
No. 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Newman.
Is this something that in the large sense one could think of as having to do with sports or recreation? That is a pool or a playing field or a...
9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Ludden.
Does this product have... Does one paint this product?
When it's necessary, in some cases, right?
Could be possible.
Do you paint it colors for decorative purposes?
Some.
You could. We would not suggest that this line of questioning is leading you anywhere except to disaster, however.
But that's a... Yeah, well, can we have a
You
conference?
have 30 seconds for
You have an
comment.
idea? Does it... You can't get in it. You can't put anything in it. She says...
Oh, forget it.
Forget it. Thanks for that 30
It
seconds.
doesn't hold anything.
Doesn't hold anything.
That's right.
If you put this in your yard, though, do you put it there for people to see? You don't try to hide it.
No.
It's not there necessarily for decorative purposes. Do you,
May I
You want
yes,
to...
do you have an idea?
wonder if it's ever used for any special holidays, like the 4th of July or Christmas or
Does
Thanksgiving?
it have a seasonal use? Does this product have any kind of... Is it more valuable one time of year than another time of year?
With your permission, I will say that its specific application would be considered to have more meaning at one time in a year than another, but this does not rule out...
Is it more useful in the winter than it is in the summer?
Not at all.
Something to do with the 4th of July? Something to do with the
What do
4th
you
of
have in
July?
mind?
Flagpole?
Is that what you had in mind? You had it. But you were too late. It does have a special application for that time of year. Now, actually, Mr. Schmidt is vice president of Electronic Flagpoles, Inc., right? And they have, after 3 years of experimentation and work, come up with a flagpole which works with, you stop me if I'm wrong, an electronic eye which responds to the amount of light that is available, and the flag goes up by itself in the morning, comes down at sundown, and stores itself within the body of the corpus of the pole. And so in rainy weather and so forth, it puts itself away.
Does it play reveille and taps, too?
No reveille, no taps.
That's terrific.
Yeah, we could fix it. But I trust everybody thought the answers were fair.
Yes.
Good.
And
We
she
were-
would
we
look
were
funny in the
fair.
summer.
Good. Thank you, sir. Nice to have you with us. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, this message. And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger. Panel is blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, at this point, we go to the other form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise. And we will begin with Arlene Francis.
Would your name be found in the entertainment pages of the paper?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes, Mr. Cerf.
Well, the town is literally crawling with stars of that fine new picture, The Night of the Generals. Have you got anything to do with that picture?
No, I don't.
Miss Newman?
I can't tell if it's a lady or a man. I'll take a stab. Are you a lady?
No, I'm not.
Poor darling.
Makes 2 down, a date to go, Mr. Ludden.
But I'm polite.
What?
I'm polite even though I'm not a lady.
What?
Polite.
Oh.
Well, so you're a gentleman. Are you primarily known for your work in the films?
Yes and no.
Well, thanks a lot.
Miss Francis?
Are you a singer?
Yes, yes, I am.
Mr. Sir?
Are you any kind, either good or bad, of a comedian?
Yes, yes.
Miss Newman?
Do you have a, are you seen on television with some degree of regularity?
Yes, yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Mr. Ludden?
Have you ever had a hit record?
Well, no, I haven't. I can't really say I have. No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
But he does sing. I know, I'm just kind of thrown here a little bit.
Well, think hard and then...
And then jump in. Are you better known as a comedian than as a singer?
Well, yes. Yes, yes, I
Mr. Sir?
There's something terribly familiar about that voice. Have you ever been on the panel of this particular television show?
Have you ever been on the panel of this particular television program?
yes, I have.
Miss Newman?
I just don't have... Do you have dark hair and glasses?
I have one.
Mr. Ludden?
Let me guess.
Yeah? Guess.
No.
No, Mr. Ludden?
Do you have a television show now?
No,
That's
no, I
4
don't.
down and 6 to go,
One
Miss
of those
Francis.
things no one can understand.
I'm going to pass because I think Bennett knows who it is.
I think it's a scoundrel named Tony Randall.
You know, the singer, I'm sure the singer threw you off a bit.
Yeah, I kind of...
But Tony's got a record coming out, this week, isn't
Oh, yes. Sings
Vo-
very
Vo-
well.
Bo Dodio.
Vo Do Dio.
Yes, and no one knows it better than Arlene. We played parts of it on our radio program.
Vo Do Dio Do.
Oh, he
Which
sings
comes from
great.
what? The old... I meant to chase down sometime tonight anyway. This, I remember as a kid, Vo Do Dio Do.
Yes.
Who used to do this?
Carmen Lombardo.
Yes, and other big stars.
Yes.
When they were vamping a song, they would say
Yes.
Vo Do Dio Do.
I suppose that's a good subject for some doctoral thesis. Who originated Vo Do Dio?
I'll ask my doctor.
I
if he'll
don't.
give me a thesis. we'll see what we can do about it. Listen, but you know where I heard him? Bet you'll be surprised, because I was listening. Metropolitan yesterday afternoon. You were on the intermission quiz panel.
Yes, yes.
With talking about Mary Garden and the other stars. This man covers so much ground.
Tony knows more about opera than almost anybody I've ever met in my life, including
Is that
George
Milton
Marek.
Not really. I'm just a fan.
Well, Tony, the more I find out about Tony, he knows a lot about everything, you know. That's the amazing thing about him, but actually his singing is his hidden talent, I've decided.
Yes, and I decided to sing as a public service and issue this record this week.
Well, I hope it sells better than most public service records.
I'm sure it will. Winchester Cathedral is on it.
Yes.
So, yeah,
And other big favorites like Boo Hoo that the public seems to want.
Boo Hoo and Vo Do 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 O Do.
Do a little of your impersonation of Carmen.
Carmen Lombardo. Boo Hoo, I'll tell my mother on you.
You've done very well tonight, panel, I guess. So we'll all be back after the... And panel, bless you all. If I read the crock properly, I've got 3 seconds to say thanks to all of you for being with us on What's My Line.